What's up YouTube, JL Fulks here. Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to talk about guitar plugins. Are they worth it? Hopefully we can answer that question by the end of the video. Now, I have always been a traditionalist when it comes to guitar tone. I have been a blues player for a long time. I've been playing blues professionally for over 10 years. I've toured with different blues bands. I've done my own thing. And I've always used a Deluxe Reverb amplifier when it comes to playing shows live and for my recordings. About a year ago, I moved to Nashville into an apartment, and I wanted to start building a little home studio to start banging out guitar tracks and different things like that. And I knew that miking up my guitar amp was going to be really hard to do, especially with the neighbors and everything, because to get a good tone out of a Deluxe Reverb, you really got to turn it up loud. So I was looking for different alternative ways to get a good guitar tone without having to do that. So one day I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this video ad pop up, and it was an ad by Stl Tones, and they were promoting this new plugin called Tonality, the Andy James Guitar Suite. And I had never heard of Andy James before, and I discovered him right then and there, and he's one of my favorite guitar players now. But this video ad had Andy James playing along to this track he wrote for this plugin, and he was playing through the plugin, and it sounded amazing. I was just really blown away by how good this software sounded. And I ended up buying that plugin right away. I think I spent $100 because they were running a sale. And that was one of the best $100 I've ever spent. I've used that plugin on so many different tracks and videos. A lot of the videos on this channel are with that plugin. And it has so many different options. I mean, the different cabs, the different pedals you can use, the different presets by Andy James himself. Everything is dialed in to exactly how he rigs up his amps for live shows and in the studio. But I was really blown away by how good this plugin sounded just straight out of the box. No EQing or anything. It just sounded really, really great. And I've been a fan of Stl Tones ever since. So here I have the Stl Tones Tonality Andy James Guitar Suite pulled up. I just wanted to show you guys the quality of this plugin and how great a tones you can get for rock and metal with it. Now this preset is one of my favorite presets for rock and metal lead tones. And it's got a little bit of delay and a little bit of reverb on it, and it sounds pretty awesome. Now here we're going to explore the different options you have within this plugin. You have all these different presets by Andy James himself, and then you have actual other presets like Andy James custom presets, Stl Tones presets. You even have the Andy James Revenant guitar pedal on here, which is pretty awesome. And you have like an overdrive, which is pretty much like a TS9 tube screamer. Tons of different effects. You got a reverb, a delay, lo-fi. Got different cabs to choose from and different mic placement. You can actually move the mic. But a pretty good deal for only $100. I thought this plugin was a steal, and I've used it on tons of different things. So very happy with this plugin. I think it's really great for rock and metal tones. So after I discovered the Andy James Stl Tonality plugin, I knew that it wasn't going to cover my whole base of guitar tones, because there's a lot of clean tones that I use for blues, and I wasn't able to get the exact blues tones that I wanted out of that particular plugin. So I started looking at other plugins, and I found another one called Amplitube 4 by IK Multimedia. Now this is a great plugin you can get that has hundreds of different presets and amps to choose from. I mean, you can choose different stomp boxes. It's pretty crazy how in-depth this plugin is. And you can get it at a pretty good rate. I think I got Amplitube 4 for around $150. Now there's some amps that I don't like inside the plugin. I think they just don't sound good at all. And then there's some that sound really good. Now there's two amps inside this plugin that I use on a regular basis and that I like in particular. I like the Deluxe Amp Simulator, and I like the Princeton Reverb Amp Simulator. I'm going to do a little tone comparison of the Deluxe Reverb because that is the amp that I use in my live shows and my recordings. And I think the Amp Simulator sounds pretty dang close. I'm going to play you guys my song I Believe in Love, which is a slow blues tune off my EP On Down the Road. It has over 8 million streams, and on that song I'm using a Heritage H150 and I'm using my Deluxe Reverb amp in the studio, mic'd up, and it's mixed and mastered. And then after that, I'm going to play the same exact song with the same exact guitar using the Amp Simulator and see if we can hear a difference. So here we have my song I Believe in Love. I'm using a Deluxe Reverb and my Heritage H150. And this is mixed and mastered. So now I've got Amplitube 4's Deluxe Reverb Amp Simulator pulled up with the same settings that I used in the studio on this song, along with the same exact guitar that I used, my Heritage H150. So now we're going to see how close this sounds to the actual recording. Now personally, I would say that the Amp Simulator was pretty dang close to the real thing. There's also a big price gap between the two. I think a Deluxe Reverb runs about $8.99 brand new, and the plug-in Amplitube 4 with all the other presets and everything runs for about $150 to $200. So that's a pretty big price gap for the two. I definitely prefer the real amp over the plug-in, but I would say for the price and everything, definitely go with the plug-in too, because I use it on a ton of stuff. I use it for clients on Fiverr and everything, and it works out great. I think it really resembles a real Deluxe Reverb. But if I had the choice, I would choose a real Deluxe Reverb over the Amp Simulator. Now the answer everybody wants to know. Do I think plugins are worth it? And I would say yes. But I would say there's a lot of plugins out there that just don't sound good. So it's very important to choose the ones that work for you. I personally think the Stl Tones makes some of the best plugins out there. I just got Tone Hub, which is a really great plugin that has presets you can add by famous producers and famous guitar players. I'll be doing a full video on that pretty soon. But I would say plugins are worth it. I use plugins for a lot of different things. I use them for my YouTube videos. It's really great to be able to record here in my apartment without having the cops called on me, and to be able to record at a low volume. So for me, plugins have worked really great. I even offer session work on Fiverr where I use these plugins to record for clients. I have two options where I can record from my home studio for a lower price using these plugins, and then I have a higher option where I can actually go to a real studio in Nashville and plug in a real amp and get those tones as well for a higher price. And I've had a lot of clients contact me for the lower options, and I've been able to produce great guitar tracks for these producers using plugins. And they've been very happy with it. I have a 5-star rating right now on Fiverr, and everybody is super happy with what I've done with my plugins. Anyways, that is my overview of guitar plugins in general. I hope you dug the video. Be sure to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.